Good afternoon, learners. I am Dr. Awupeja Odeji. I'm in charge of Poll 325, which titled Political Research Methods. In this semester, I have a number of topics for you. Um, we are going to start by looking at the nature of politics before the behavioral approach. The second topic will deal with relevance of statistics in the conduct of political inquiry. The third topic deals with the tools of the scientific study of politics. We have some tools in which we are using. Here we talk about concepts. Here we talk about paradigm. Here we talk about theoretical framework. Here we talk about models, and so on and so forth. We are going to look at all these tools that we employ in the study of politics. Then the next one is the measure of central tendency. So here we are going to concentrate our attention on the mode, the mean, and the median. Not only this, though we are going to look at um, mode, median, mean, but we also have to emphasize on the group data. What I'm saying is that we are going to concentrate ourselves on group data and on group data and on group data. And having done mode, median, mean, we are going to also look at standard deviation. So these are central measure of central tendency, which we look at in the study of uh, research methodology. Then the fifth one deals with correlation analysis. And when you look at the topics I've been saying, when you look at starting from the last topic, you could see that the last topic was will be quantitative. The implication of that is that it is going to be mathematical in nature. So also correlation analysis. Here we use correlation to look at the significant relationship between variables. We are going to look at that. And the last topic, we are going to concentrate our attention on chi-square. Chi-square also look at the relationship between two variables. So these are topics we are going to do in this semester. Permit me to start with the first topic. The first topic talk about the nature of politics before behavioral approach. I want you to know that the nature of politics before the behavioral approach is that it was historical in nature, it was descriptive in nature, it was philosophical in nature, and it was unscientific in nature. So as a result of that, we tagged the nature to be traditional approach. But as the time went on, or what I want to say is that after the Second World War, some set of political scientists, they thought within themselves that they want to rescue politics from being descriptive. They want to measure our concepts. They want to ensure that we follow the precepts of scientific way of studying things. And if you look at science uh, quantifies, science measures, and science will carry out laboratory work in it. And they thought within themselves that it would be good for them to follow the suit. So after the Second World War, this set of political scientists, we talk about Abraham Kaplan, talk about David Easton, we talk about Aaron Laxwell and some of them. They changed the gear of politics in such a way that our concept will now be measured, so that we won't be able to rely on what historical way of studying politics, so that we won't be able to say that political science is a pseudoscience, that is a fake science. That is what we mean by pseudoscience. So in light of that, around 1960s, the scientific study of politics came into being. So what I'm saying here is that the trend of studying politics now is behavioral in nature. That is, we are talking about a situation in which we can quantify our concepts, we can we can measure our phenomena. What I mean by phenomena, we are talking about those things we work on, like accountability, transparency, and so on and so forth. So those things, they are germane to our study. But we want to ensure that those things are measured, unlike what we had during the era of what traditional approach. Now, the best practice in study of politics now is behavioral approach, in which we can measure our phenomena or our phenomenon. So we should be able to say transparency, we should be able to measure it. We should be able to say we want to measure accountability, we should be able to measure it. We should be able to measure participation, and so on and so forth. So that is the trend in which we have found ourselves. So what I'm saying here is that even our research work, we expect you to carry it out in a scientific manner. So if you are carrying out a work in a, though I'm not saying traditional approach is totally discarded in the study of politics, we can still see its relevance. But what I'm saying here is that the trend, that is, if you want to say that somebody has engaged or somebody has researched on something, we believe what we want to believe or what we want to see is the empirical way of doing it. And you can only do it in an empirical way by trying to measure those things you want to embark on. If you have not measured it, or you have not measured those things, then we cannot say we can rely on that particular research. So what I'm saying, not in a nutshell, is that we do engage in scientific way of studying our phenomena. So I think you understand what I'm saying. So in a nutshell, what I'm saying is that the traditional approach was the nature of politics before the era of behavioralism. Though I'm not saying that traditional approach has finally gone into extinction. So we still have traditional approach and we still rely on it, but we cannot really or totally rely on traditional approach. So that is why we try as much as possible to measure our phenomena in such a way that it will be acceptable and we'll be able to draw conclusions from what we have researched on. I think I'm making sense. So the global, what I'm saying in a nutshell, and I'm repeating, the normal practice of researching is what? Science. That's normal. It's a scientific way of studying politics. Though you can combine traditional approach uh, with scientific approach, but if somebody relies solely on traditional approach, we may not accept that kind of research to be really true, because what we are doing now is to measure our phenomena and also be able to engage in a what we in a empirical way of doing of researching. So that is the starting point. This is the first lesson I want to pass across to you. So I want you to know the learning outcome, which I want you to get it clearly, is that students should be able to know the nature of politics before the era of behavioralism, and they must also know what we mean by behavioralism. And the nature of politics before the era of behavioralism, we talk about what? Traditional approach. So traditional approach in such a way that our concepts, they were studying in what? Descriptive manner, they were studying in philosophical manner, and they were studying in historical manner. But now the trend is behavioral approach, in which we can measure, we can have a statistical way, and we can apply statistical way of measuring our phenomenon. So if you have any question, please feel free and relate with me, and I'm going to answer your question to your taste or to your satisfaction. Thank you.